much. But before I go, have you always wanted to be a surf dude but never quite had the balance or skill to stand up for very long? Now it's being made much easier by stand-up paddle surfing, a new way of walking on the water even, you know, when there aren't big waves around. It's only arrived in this country less than a year ago. If until now this is all you've managed to achieve on a surfboard, and standing up has always seemed just too much like hard work, there is now an alternative and a way of looking like a real beach boy. Forget waiting around for a wave. To paddle surf, you stand up the whole time, literally appearing to walk on water. Paddle boards are bigger, 10 to 12 feet long, making them easier for beginners, well, most of the time. This sport has been Hawaii's best kept secret since the 1950s, but it's only been in the UK less than a year. Now it's arrived, the first championships have just been held, and it's set to become the next trend, mainly because it is so accessible.
The whole thing about it is you can just get your board, go anywhere, whenever it's flat, you don't have to wait for the surf to turn up, and as long as it's not windy, it's a lot of fun.
You can paddle out for miles, someone has even made it to France, but for most of us it's just a case of getting yourself out far enough to catch a wave back home. And that's the tricky part. It's only through our on-board camera here that you can see how wobbly it can feel. But keep on going, take the falls in your stride, and even in your first session, you can be rewarded. After just 2 hours, I was standing up, which I couldn't probably do if I was trying to catch the waves surfing in the normal fashion. And if you haven't got any waves, you just paddle around to your heart's content.
Oh, yeah. And on a purely practical note, it looked cold there. So did you keep warm?
I had a good wetsuit. Yeah, it was fine actually. It wasn't too bad. I suppose at this time of year it's not as cold as it is, say, in March and April.
But what do the real surfers? Come on, what do the real surfers think of you?
Oh, they were quite impressed.
Oh, were they?
I'm being honest, they were quite impressed that I could stand up, but they are saying it makes it a lot easier. We saw the guys there waiting for ages and ages just to try and catch one wave for a few seconds. Well, in paddle surfing, I mean, I suppose someone could call it cheating. You just paddle out, as some people do to the Isle of Wight or to France even, and wait for the big waves, and it doesn't matter if there aren't any waves around because you can just paddle away.
What do you do with the paddle when you're not using it?
Well, when you're going in, well, I don't know about that, but when you're coming in, you can steer with it, yeah.
Okay.
But the problem until now, until this year, there just hasn't been the equipment in this country. They've been having it all in Hawaii. But now the equipment's arrived, so it's out there.
All right, Mike, thank you very much.
Or you could have gone to Hawaii.
That
saving money.
Nice. Now you
Good
tell
for
me.
you.
Thanks.
8:45.
Now BBC